I just hope you all know I'm giving up a delicious baked ziti dinner to be here. Well, what's going on? How is everybody? It is good to see you. It is good to be seen by you. I am Bill Sylvie, aka the Dungeon Delver. I hope you're all having a wonderful evening. I'm sitting here suffering while good food is being served out there in the kitchen. But you know, that's what I do for you guys. I do this for you guys. And also, we have our sponsor to thank for this episode of the show. This is brought to you by our friends at Hellebarde Games. Hellebarde Games makes the kind of adventures that they'd like to play, whether it's for OSR, Castles and Crusades, or 5th edition. Old school rules are in play at the table, and you can check them out on their website at hellebardegames.com or DriveThruRPG. So, we really like us some Hellebarde Games. But I hope you guys are doing well. I'm nominal. I'll say that. I'm nominal before you ask. You know, how is Bill? I'm nominal, and that's about the best I can say. Whatever value you want to place on that, that's just fine with me. I have a little bit of info. I'm not sure if I'm to release it yet, but if you were here last night, of course, we had Mail Call Monday, and we opened these wonderful volumes made by a friend of the show, Mr. Jack Photon. And if you don't know what these are, you'll just have to watch last night's stream. It's all up there. I leave it up there. But this is some extraordinary compilation of material in a very homebrew fashion by Jack. And a lot of people were wondering, how do I get my hands on their books? And I got to admit, I was wondering the same thing. So he told me that it's coming soon, but I don't have anything concrete for you guys. I'm not exactly sure what he's ready to discuss yet. When I know that, you'll know that, and you'll be able to access these books. Of course, it's my understanding that not printed copies, but these will be free. So the PDFs of them, because, you know, it belongs to them. Get my hands on them by turning slightly. That's how I get my hands on them. Smack it with a hammer. Skeletons should definitely move spazzy like that. The Harryhausen skeletons. I love the Harryhausen skeleton. The Harryhausen brow. The skeletons look angry, but they have that big smile, so they look happy and angry. So you want me to, do you want Jack? Jack is in the chat. Jack, do you want me to put the link in right now and share it with everyone? I'm a stand by to do that. I'm a stand by to do that. Let's see. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, all right. Not share it, but show the. No, I'm reading his email properly. Not the link. That's for me. It's a draft. So, yeah, I can show it to people though, right? I can bring this up on Still Store and show it to folks on screen. Jack, is that correct? I just want to make sure I'm reading you right, my friend. He's got to put some spit and polish on it, and then I'll share it with you guys. The latest iteration, the PDF. In that, I will show it to you. But again, the link I cannot. I will do that. Let's see. So let us just move that out here. Because if I just shared it up on the screen right now, you guys would see the URL, which Jack just said he doesn't want to do yet. So let me just put that up on screen. I have the PDF now, Jack, if you want to nuke that. All right, where'd you go? Oh, Windows, will you ever? But where did it go? God, I hate Windows sometimes. All right. You know what? Let's just, I'll put it in the AD&D folder because I know what's in there. All right. Here it is. Here it is. And I will share this with y'all. Present, share screen, share screen, share screen, share screen. Share screen. Damien says, knowing the dancing sword magic exists, but is there a similar shield item that follows its user? No. If you want to create one for your game, that's fine. So this is the Librum of Gameful Conjurations, the latest version from Jack. And you can see it's beautifully laid out, just at a quick glance. We are looking forward to the final version, and a table of contents of appendices. We like that, and then tables and charts. And there's Gary's original introduction. Can I make a suggestion right now? Could you include Mike Carr's forward, or would you not want to do that? I'm just asking. Whoops. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to give you guys scoliosis, and I'm not trying to hide anything. It's just the mouse. Forever problems with the mouse. They did not embed. Yeah, there's definitely Car's forward is in the back, so it's a backwards. But that's awesome. That's good to know, Jack. So all of this should look very familiar to you if you're, of course, a fan of Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. What Jack has done here is he has compiled all of these elements spread across Unearthed Arcana and Dragon Magazine and so on, etc., and created a single volume. This is the kind of thing we used to do, and then TSR, post-Gygax, pre-Wizards, early internet, late BBS rings, TSR freaked the F out when they would see projects like this. Much less nicely put together projects than this, I might add, and threatened to sue the entire internet. But yeah, this is all very familiar and well-trodden territory here. And it's the latest draft, and we like it quite a bit. Now, I am going to jump to the back. I'm going to jump all the way to the back because I got to be honest with you, Jack. I love your ad pages in the back. So let's jump all the way back there. And scroll up a bit. Do you have any ad copy in here like you did in those physical copies? So I don't see any. Oh, there we go. Yeah. And of course, you can see the font, that is Century Gothic or 20th Century MT. Did not embed. Back then, it was scissors, rubber cement, and a Xeroxer to make the new masters. Yep. A car in reverse. Yes. No bookworms were harmed in the making of this work, though various colonies of molds and mildews have passed from this prime material plane to the astral and beyond. Designed for my personal reference, the primary contents of this volume are sourced from fresh 600 DPI scans of Player's Handbook, Unearthed Arcana, and Dungeon Master's Guide, Dragon Magazine updates, and Dungeoneer's Survival Guide equipment chart are sourced from the vagaries of the internet. No permission to profit. But this is a lovely collation, Jack, and any true aficionado of AD&D would be proud to have these on a bookshelf. There should be Quentin D&D font match. Well, again, I mean, this is a draft. This is why we do this, right? You know, this is why you create first drafts. So you can do stuff like that. Appendix reference sheets. Are these perforated for easy removal? By the way, I always thought that was an interesting thing. I have a true first player's handbook. Well, I have two true first player's handbooks. One of them, someone did actually remove the reference sheets from the back, but they came with it. They're beat to hell, and I think 3-hole punched, and they were in like a plastic jacket kind of thing. I may have actually gotten rid of that one. But I also have a true first, which has the perforated pages, but they're not removed. But the thing about it is every subsequent printing of the Player's Handbook, and they were publishing the Player's Handbook, I think, a couple of years into the release of second edition. You could still get the first edition AD&D Player's Handbook. Retailers were still like, people still want this. There's still a demand for this. And so TSR either had overstock they were sending out, or they were actually going through the trouble of printing up new copies. But that is beautiful, by the way, Jack. It is. It truly is. It depends on what book you're talking or what area of font you're talking about. But yeah, it's Futura MT. Sometimes it's called 20th Century MT. They're very similar. There's probably people in pre-press that will be like, they're not similar at all. Shut up, you heretic. But they look the same to my eyes. But anyhow, to go back to what I was saying about the page perforations. Yeah, every issue of the Dungeon Master's Guide and the Player's Handbook from that point forward, and by issue, I mean distribution of, I know they're not numbered issues, but every issuance of those said, these pages perforated for easy removal. They were not. I have only ever encountered one single true first printing of the Dungeon Master's Guide, which I have on my shelf, that has perforated pages. I'm not going to remove them ever. But that always used to kind of make me scratch my head when I was a kid. It's like, it's perforate. The perforations must be deep in there. Should I just yank those pages out? And I'm glad that I didn't. I'm glad that I did not. Because that would have damaged the book. And I don't mean from a collectible standpoint. I just mean it's more useful to keep the pages in the book. Easy reference is only easy reference if you know where the thing is all the time. And if you leave the pages in the book, you always know where they are. You know, I forgot to do a thing here. Let me do this real quick. So yeah, you know, you do what you want to. Let me just say that unequivocally. I will not insist you do things. You guys full well know I am not a collector of I play AD&D. I happen to have acquired pieces that happen to be collector's pieces. But brothers and sisters, if the only AD&D I had was clapped out late 1E books with Jeff Easley covers, which, by the way, when I got back into AD&D in the late 90s, that was what I got. That was what I bought. I bought them from Paul Stormberg. I bought these very loosey-goosey covered books, and later I gave them away when I found and started getting older and older copies from friends or finding them on eBay or at used bookstores. I was like, I kind of like the look of these a little bit better, but I would be just as happy with them. But please, it just is a matter of organization. Don't tear the pages out, even if you have those that are in a print range that they have the perforations. That's my suggestion to you. That is my suggestion to you. Don't do it. It's just not worth it. Your copy of UA is copyrighted 1991. There you go. You were a loon and never even ripped out the store-bought character sheets. Just photocopy. Excellent. I was lucky enough back before things went completely ape poop on prices. I got my hands on a copy of the Dungeon Master's record sheets, which are actually really, really good. And this copy that I found was in crispy, clean condition. And so, yeah, I just, when I want those, I just take them out to the scanner and knock off copies. I have a PDF. I can print them out now. But at the time, I had a printer scanner and would just knock off copies. The Easley covers were beautiful. Jeff Easley, he's easily one of my favorite TSR artists. I'm here all week. Thanks. Please super chat your comedian. But anyhow, no, I never had a problem with them. I just wish that they could have figured out a way to make them still both available. It's like the Dungeon Master's Adventure Log or something like that. There you go, Matt R. Conductor. That's all you need. Now, when I got to where I was running games at cons, I slowly built up a library of players' handbooks. I've got, let's see, not counting the reissued one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have more than 8, don't I? No, I don't, because I gave a couple of them away stupidly to people who turned out to be terrible people. But yeah, no, when I would go to cons and so on and etc., I'd roll in with a dozen copies of the player's handbook and sit them out at the places for all the players so they would know. In retrospect, I hauled a bunch of books to cons for no real reason, because honestly, the fighters, we weren't creating characters for the convention. I provided pre-made characters. Fighters, it's literally roll a d20. I rolled a 15. Do I hit? You do hit. Roll a d10. I rolled a 5. You did 5 points of damage. So I got to where I basically, out of the PDFs, I make a spell book for the spellcasters, and I kind of explain things to clerics. Sometimes for events, I'll even pre-choose the spells for the clerics. And I'll just have everything printed out in a little player character packet. But it was kind of nice going around and setting a player's handbook at everyone's place so they could sit down and boom, there's a player's handbook. Never would the question come up. But no, I again, as I've said, I'm not a collector, and I actually someone messaged me, and asked me, they complimented me, and they said that those are really cool props behind you, and I didn't get upset. It didn't upset me or anything like that. I was just like, but that's just it. It's not props. I'm sitting here because this is the best place in the studio office, and those of you who've been here, you know how crowded it is. Doomsword's been here. I think I've kind of taken you guys on a tour in that I have panned my cell phone around and shown you exactly how little space I have in here. This is not a green screen, and these are not like props that I just dust off periodically. Granted, I'm not grabbing this OD&D set over here to take to events and use to play with. I have this if I need to reference OD&D rules at an event. But yeah, all of this stuff is stuff that I actually like to game with. Making video stuff for you guys is a lot of fun. But honestly, if tomorrow, I would be heartbroken. I'd wonder what I'd done wrong. But if you guys just decided, well, we're done with Bill. Hey, James Lynch, thank you for checking in. Glad you're enjoying the stream. I put a grognard filter on. But yeah, you know, if you guys were like, we're out, no hard feelings, peace, and I had no one watching. Remember, I said I would do this even if there were just one audience member getting something out of it. I don't know if I'd do it 5 nights a week, but we'd see. You could start building back up from there. But like this wouldn't go into boxes like, well, I don't need the props anymore. The background stuff, I'd still be grabbing it off the shelves and still be using it. Well, it's funny you should mention that, Kabuki Kid, because can I tell you guys a little something? Let me share a little bit of inside baseball with y'all. Let me see how things are looking right now. Now, a day went by when Wizards of the Coast didn't do something dumb, so I didn't really have a lot to talk to you about today. But I think it just keeps bouncing up and down between 42.99 and 4,300. It's been doing it all day and all night, which kind of it means some people are unsubscribing and some people are subscribing. But anyway, I'm just going to say at 42.99, we're at 4,300. All right, It's close enough as makes no difference. So we're 4,300. We are 700 subscriptions away from the 5,000 mark on this channel. Now, at the 10,000 mark, which that's not a thing that I think is going to happen within, that's deep time, right? You're gonna start seeing some of the older protons decay by the time I hit 10,000 subs. It's like the Earth will shrink down into a white dwarf, and my sub counter will roll over to 10,000. That'll probably happen on the same afternoon. But hey Ardu, good to see you. I am close-ish. Maybe like that. Maybe, I don't. How thick is a subscription, Dungeon Minister? Have you ever measured? Anyway, I'm close-ish to 5,000 subscriptions. When I hit 5,000 subscriptions, we're going to celebrate because I am going to have a drawing. I'm going to have a raffle, not a rifle. It's a different channel. A raffle. And it's going to be run. I'm going to set it up on a raffling website. It's not going to be, there's not going to be a question of, oh, you did something. You picked your favorite. It's I'm going to use a third, an escrow party, if you will. And there will be two winners. Not a first and second prize winner, A, winner B. The one of the winners will get the high quality color print on demand Dungeon Master's Guide, Player's Handbook, and Monster Manual from DriveThruRPG. I will do that for you. I will gift that to you, and then you can go on DriveThruRPG and tell them where to print and send you the things. Not an option to print on demand that you'll have to pay for. I will find out how to do that. I will say, how do I gift these to someone through DriveThruRPG? The other winner, I will create another one of these bespoke AD&D books. And this is Men and Magic, Monsters and Treasure, The Underworld and Wilderness Adventures. Everything you need to play original D&D in its original format that I will have bound in a single volume for you. So that's my winner A and my winner B, my one winner and my other winner when the channel reaches 5,000. Now, there has to be a time limit on it because, in the year 2035 or something like that, people are like, hey, you finally kicked over to 5,000. Bill, do you want to do this? If we reach 5,000 by the conclusion of the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention 2, that's GWOC 2, Kabuki, if I can get like a bespoke one that's not, it doesn't cost more than possibly. Just get Johnny Depp to play AD&D with me. Can I don't think that's going to happen. Vince says I should dye my hair green, do cosplay on Critical Role, and show some cleavage. Well, I don't know that anybody wants to see that, but those will be the two things. But it has to be by the end of the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention, which is happening probably in mid-June, which is a couple of months away. I think it's eminently doable. We're at 4,300 right now. Yeah, YouTube, 42.99. Because someone said, this is not for me. So, 701 subscriptions is what is required. And when that is reached, when that is reached, there will be the drawing. With stink lines coming home. Oh, you did the stink lines. Yes, Kabuki, I do own a copy of Chainmail. Funny thing about the chainmails, and I love telling this story. So once upon a time, I used to attend a series of local gaming conventions, Historical Miniatures Gaming South, HMGS Society. And I would go to their cons, and I would run first edition AD&D because they had tables for alt gamers. You just had to have miniatures and terrain. And I was the only one in their eyes that did proper role-playing games because I brought Dwarven Forge every time. And it was a huge draw for people. You know, not everybody had a 3D printer back then. Dwarven Forge was to quote Smog, rare and wonderful. Huh? So, yeah, I people would come in and they'd see it and they'd be drawn to it and they'd sit down and they'd want to play, which was always a lot of fun. And they had a very small dealer setup. It was so small that their dealer's area was a perimeter around their main gaming room. So I was walking by, and a guy's got a box of gaming rules, and I start flipping through, and there's Chainmail. Now, I already had a copy of Chainmail. In fact, even at this point, my copy of Chainmail was autographed by Gary Gygax and Dave Arneson both. So I'm looking through. He has, was it 5 or 7? I don't remember. I want to say it was 5. Yeah, it was 5 copies of Chainmail for $10 each. And they were all in shrink wrap. They were the comb-bound silver cover. And I said, are these all $10? And he said, yes. And I go over and I tell my wife, there's a guy over there. He's got 5 copies of Chainmail and shrink wrap, and they're $10 a piece. And she said, go buy them all. Do it. My wife. So I go over and I said, I'll take them. And he said, since you're buying them all, I'll let them go for $7 a piece. $35. I told him before I paid him, I said, these are pretty valuable to classic D&Ders. And he's like, I don't want to mess around with eBay or collectors. Buy them and enjoy them. And I bought them all. Over time, I sold off my shrink wrap copies. I sold my last one to the CEO of Hellebarg Games, in fact. But one copy after the invasion of Iraq in 2003, when troops were stationed there, in the green zone, for their entertainment purposes, they had a tabletop gaming convention in Iraq. And word got out that they were doing this. And so they said, hey, if you get any D&D books, if you get any snacks, dry snacks like beef jerky, peanuts, Pringles, stuff that will survive getting shipped here. And I was just wrapping up having made a failed attempt at having an online store that sold new RPG products. So I had a backstock of 3rd edition books. So I sent sets of 2 ebooks. And because it's APO, there was no postage on it. There was no shipping charge because it was going to the military. So we sent cans of peanuts, all the stuff that was requested. But in that box, I put a shrink-wrapped copy of Chainmail. And to this day, I wonder who got it. I want to think that there was some soldier, Marine, airman, or sailor, Navy medics. You know, they go out with the Marines, that got it and appreciates it. I really, really hope that's the case. And I really, 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 really hope that whoever it was got that. But it was a long, long time ago. But that's where one of the shrink-wrapped copies of Chainmail went. All the others were sold off, given away. I actually went to an FLGS back in '91, and they had a wood grain copy for $50, and I thought it was. I wasn't into D&D at that point. I wasn't back into playing D&D, and I didn't really recognize it for what it was anyway. But $50 for a wood grain OD&D set, right there under the glass. I bought VHS copies of Bubblegum Crisis, volumes 1 and 2. And did I buy a Gundam model that day? I think I did. But what I bought was easily more than $50. It wasn't a case of not having the money, of wanting it and not having the cash. If I had known then what I know now, I'd have made I'd have been like, I'll write you a check. Oh yeah, Bubblegum Crisis and Crash are good. AD Police, which is Bubblegum Crisis if there was no if Pris and the rest of her team did not exist. AD Police is awesome. But anyway, those are just some tales of things that I've had on the shelf, things that I've let go. I've said it before. As of now, I've owned 15 copies of Deities and Demigods. 14 of them unexpurgated. So they're not hard to find if you have friends. One of them I got was actually kind of funny. There was a couple that we knew. We're still more or less in touch with the wife, but she came over and said, "Hey, do you want John," not his real name, "John's old D&D stuff?" And I was like, sure. Wait, this isn't going to cause it. And she's like, "Nope, he left it in my house." He had been a philanderer. He left it in my house, and I messaged him and asked him if he wanted it, and he said no, to do whatever with it. So, in the stack, Deities and Demigods unexpurgated. I got the first one back when I started getting back into AD&D on Usenet. I said, "I'm looking for one of these." And someone said, "I'm looking for a copy of Cyberpunk 2020. If you have one and $20, I'll give you one of these." Deal. And then I would just have friends give me stacks of stuff, and they would come with them. I found one at a local used bookstore for like $5. The Night Sabers. Thank you, Clanner Jake. The Night Sabers. I had a gaming version of the record sale from High Fidelity, yeah. But I've told this story, but some of you might not have heard this story. We were getting ready to go to Disney. We had passes. We live in Central Florida, and we had passes to get into Disney, but things were pretty tight around here. So it was like, okay, here's $10 in quarters. That'll get us parking. And we'll pack up the diaper bag full of snacks and stuff so we can have lunch. We can and have a little picnic lunch in Disney because we can do rides and so on and etc. And I think that maybe had like $5 each if the girls wanted a little tiny something. And I said, hang on a second, babe. I grabbed that stack of deities and demigods. And I went on Facebook and I posted a message on Facebook and I said, hey, Facebook friends, I got these books, $45 a piece. And I sold 6 of them right then. And they PayPal'd me and I shipped them all out over the course of the next day, actually the following week. And right then, I paid for it because it was more important to me to go and have fun with my family. And we did. We went to one of the restaurants. We had a lovely dinner. The kids got some toys at Disney. That was more important to me than having a big stack of deities and demigods, was having fun with my family. Like I said, guys, I'm not a collector. It just happened to help me out. Now, at $45 a piece, that's why they went so fast. Nowadays, yeah, it'd be a little bit different. The first AD&D book I got was the PHB First Ed. I bought that and The Art of Dragonlance from a friend. Didn't know that he was going to use the money to get a second edition of PHB. But I'm a D&D player first, and we're going to be playing some D&D here in just a very little while. Tomorrow night, by the by, Kyle Schuant takes the reins. We will be doing a read of and a character creation of for the role-playing game that Kyle created, Conflict, which will be the next gaming thing we do here on the show on Wednesday nights that Kyle will game master. It will be Conflict Wednesdays. Of course, Thursday night is open bar. We'll find something fun to do on Thursday night. Maybe some more Dragon deep diving. Would you guys like to jump into Dragon issue number 3? Again, I'm not going to do them all. I may jump up to a later issue. Comproggy wants to know more about Conflict and how it compares to Twilight 2000. It is much simpler. It is much, much, much simpler. You could absolutely run a Twilight 2000 game with Conflict. Minus heavy weapons and anti-tank. Kyle deliberate, because he's like, look, everybody's in a tank. Your tank gets shot with an anti-tank missile. The tank blows up. Your stuff is all wrecked. Most everyone dies or is so badly injured that they're going to die shortly thereafter. I get a little bit, I have a slightly different view, but I don't in the overall disagree with his point of view. Jimmy likes the Dragon deep dives. Stuart likes the Dragon deep dives. But character creation is pretty quick in Conflict. It is not quick at all. It is not even a little tiny bit quick in Twilight 2000. It is not even a tiny little bit quick in Twilight 2000. Although I may write a program that can do it one day. Honestly, If I were going to run Twilight 2000, as much as I love GDW's setting, I might actually use the silhouette system because it has vehicles, missiles, all that kind of jazzmatazz. But it is much quicker and much easier to have tank battles and vehicle battles and that sort of thing with a silhouette system than it is with the Twilight 2000 system. But anyway, to go back to Conflict, Kyle's role-playing game Conflict, not to get in a conflict with you guys. Yeah, you could absolutely do a Twilight 2000 setting, but I think Kyle is a little bit more focused on things like if you've seen Sicario or Black Hawk Down or something like Generation Kill or something like that. You can kind of imagine the focus on it, or you could do something like Miami Vice or Heat with it, if you're familiar with the TV show or the movie, or on the goofy side of things, the A-Team, the original TV show, the best. I suppose you could even like Magnum PI or Simon and Simon, anywhere there's a little bit of firearms play. I think Conflict kind of fits there. Airwolf was a little bit more about the copter. And again, Conflict doesn't have vehicle rules. Kyle doesn't want them. So small arms and small unit sizes. Yes, Compragi. It's small arms, small unit sizes. You're not going to have big sweeping battles with hundreds of miniatures on the table. Combined arms and artillery and things like that. It's going to be like 5 players. They're all operators. Maybe they're working in an extrajudicial sense just across the border in Juarez. Maybe they're in Afghanistan. Maybe they're in Ukraine. Or maybe you ditch all that altogether and just decide not to do a real world thing. And you're just, it's just, you're in Foreignistan. You're from the Western powers. And you just come up with something just completely different, which is what Kyle did for his first big sample game. And then you go from there. Airwolf, there's a fun meme of Airwolf, and it's the helicopter just hovering with the title. It's like a loop, like a 5-second loop from the very end of the credits, and the caption under it as it loops is they say there's no sound in GIFs, but I know you can hear this one because it's got the woo, and the weird rotor sound. Hey, Connect. You can play yourself. Be a calm guy working on a desk stateside until they put you on cop duty. But one of these days, I'll have to see if I can let Kyle or finagle Kyle into letting me come up with a vehicle system. But maybe one of these days, because I know so many people, there's been such positive feedback from you guys in terms of super chats, in terms of audience feedback, and so on, that I would be loath to ever substitute out Gamma World. But if I could somehow conjure up an 8th day of the week, all of the Beatles, the Beatles, I would play an on-screen Heavy Gear game in that, or Twilight 2000. What can I say? I like to get my gearhead on at the table sometimes. So in just about 10 minutes, we are going to start the wonderful AD&D game back up. I hope you guys are excited about that. I could flip the weeks. I'd have to see ultimately how people felt about it. I want to do what you guys want to see, you know? And unfortunately, Twilight 2000 under the GDW rules does not lend itself very well to let's just play a one-off. I did run it as a convention event at Virtual GaryCon in 2020, 2021, whichever year it was. I ran it as a one-off event. All the guys who played at the table were ex-military and loved Twilight 2000. They hadn't played it since like the time that they were in the military, and they were like, my God, is somebody really running Twilight 2000 first edition rules? And I was like, yeah. And I had like 8 players for the whole 5-hour session. Did I ever play Metamorphosis Alpha? I have not. Oh, no, I have played Metamorphosis Alpha. Volcano God, who swings by the chat every now and again, a good guy, friend of the channel. We like Volcano God around here. Swell dude. Volcano God has run, not on stream. This is quite some time ago. Ran some Metamorphosis Alpha for us. We found our way into from the jungles where we grew up. Of course, that's just a garden section of the Warden. It's a few miles by a few miles. And I want to that in just a second. But the adventure was a lot of fun. We killed and skinned a bear, and we're wearing its skin as armor. And then one character found a protein dissolver, essentially disintegration ray that works on living tissue only. And once we figured out, we push it and it just kind of makes that bush go whoosh, back like that. And I handed it to another character. He's like, well, I turn it around and I push a button and it disintegrated his upper torso. It's my nephew's character. So we planned to make another character for him, but we ended up not getting around to it. And we finally got into like a massive computer area. And of course, our primitive caveman brains were like, oh. So the thing about like, how could you grow up and spend your whole life in an area that's like 2 miles by 2 miles and never, ever go out of it? Years ago, when my wife and I were in Barbados for our honeymoon, 24 years ago, yesterday, as a matter of fact, 24th anniversary was yesterday. We're celebrating our 24th a little bit later at GaryCon. Long story. I'll tell you guys about that later. But anyway, but the tour guide, when we drove around, Barbados is a very, 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 very tiny island. It is extremely small, and it is divided into provinces. Small, tiny, basically counties, states. And there are people, and some of these are literally like you can drive across them in 5 minutes. Parishes, that's it, parishes. And there are people, according to the tour guide, they will spend their entire lives, birth to death, in one parish and never leave. I promise you, some of those parishes were probably no bigger than a hydroponics deck on the Warden. So it is entirely possible, particularly if you're talking about a primitive and non-first world, which Barbados very much is, first world country, to never leave a 2 mile radius. Jack has asked maybe a quick full page scroll through of the Libram before the game. We've got 5 minutes. I can do that real quick, real quick. If I stop talking about doing it real quick, I can do it. Let's see. Just close that right now. Yeah, close all those and minimize this. So this is for Jack. We're gonna share screen. So I mean, I am gonna blitz through this, Jack. Industry. Okay, so there you go. This is the flyleaf, and the fonts are jacked up because of just early edit. The Libram of gameful conjurations, and we have all the standard stuff in the player's handbook, of course. There. And then we have appendices with the planes, existential graphs, ethereal and astral combat, equipment descriptions for armor, shields, helmets, warhorse barding, select weapons and items, an appendix on polearms, suggested division of treasure, bibliography, and a player reference sheet. We have tables and charts, all the tables and charts laid out right there. There's Gary's intro. The intro, as it were, to the actual book, and this is creating the player character. Of course, if you are familiar with the player's handbook, that's it. It doesn't have an appendix N. I don't think it does, Jack. You let them know. But there's the character stats. Again, this is all par for the course for the player's handbook, but it does include the comeliness stat now from Unearthed Arcana. I don't particularly use it. Oh, it does have an appendix N in it. That's great. So there's a comeliness stat. The monster is a player character, which of course speaks to just that. The monster is a player character. We have the character races also from Unearthed Arcana, and they're appropriately higher level bump. I read everything in Appendix N. Only those who know will know. I like that. I have to get one of those t-shirts. Character race descriptions, and then of course we got Valley Elves and Drow as options here. Jack's sparing no expense. He's putting all the options in this one. Racial preference table, of course, we know all about that. You still got that horrible typo that shows the paladin as being underneath the cavalier. That's not right. Lots of new art. That's all right. Is that your art? Did you do all that, Jack? Character classes, of course, the cleric, the druid, bards. And now we've got bards moved up in normal characters, and it explains the classic bard. Cav. Paladin in hell. A paladin in hell will be a paladin having to work for a cavalier, but that's the rules, and it's not your version of the game. It's the version of the game. Lovely drawing there. Fighter, the ranger. Ranger versus Giant class. The Barb. Oh, Barb. Good evening, Miss Bella Games. Good to see you. Magic users, illusionists, thieves, assassins, the thief acrobat, which I don't understand the hate the thief acrobat gets of all the classes. King on the Mountain, greetings. The monk. Hey, he's the monk. And there's explanations of alignments, the major divisions, alignment language, character languages, character hit points, establishing the character, money, equipment, all the fun equipment stuff you can buy, armor class, and weapons. Lots of weapons. You know, a pole arm is just a pole arm. They don't really matter as far as specifics, Jack. You could have saved yourself a lot of typing. There's a certain someone who that was directed at, by the way. It's a bit of a meme almost. What's the is that a placeholder for future art? The magic mouthpiece. You gotta have the magic mouthpiece. We love that one. Notes on adventurers and hirelings. And Jack, we will continue the skim of this because we are actually at the time to start the game. So we will pick that up. Oh, there's a message there. Let me see. That's a bad page. That was, let me just page up for you real quick. Oops. That was in the 60s, I think. 66. 66. Not a problem, Jack. Not a problem. We've got all of our players now, so I'm gonna stop sharing. And we are back. So let's welcome our players to the stage of history and bid good evening to Brother Ishan, played by Mark.
Hello.
Baron von Headbanger as Cork the Paladin. TK421, good to see you at your post. Sir Outlier, the Dwarven Fighter Cleric, the handsomest fighter cleric dwarf you will ever meet in all of Greyhawk. And of course, the one, the only, the Master of Disaster, Doomsword as Turgo. Good evening.
What's going on?
You, man, you. All right. So, when last we left our party of adventurers,
I believe we had just finished killing 4 trolls and was about to grab all their loot. Right, guys? Right?
Yeah.
denial is not just a river in Egypt, folk. All right, so let me see if I can get my tabletop view here to function tonight. I certainly hope it will. I see a light on the camera. Hopefully that'll work.
Nope, my glyph of warding went off and blasted at least one of them for 10.
All right, yeah, woohoo!
That.
And I will, let's see. I will zoom this in a bit for those of you, let's see, configure video. There we go. Apologize for those of you who are being blinded by that. Camera control, and let's zoom in just a tish, shall we? All right. I found my pointing stick. It had rolled under my desk over yonder. So here we have 3 trolls beating on the door, which is here, closed. We have the party here. We have Turgo. We have Cork. Brother Ishan back here. Somewhere over here, I can't see over the wall from where I'm sitting, but somewhere over here, of course, is Sir Outlier. And, of course, in with the party back here, we also have your fighting man, Darwish.
And a doggo.
And a doggo. So the door is being bashed on heavily. It is creaking under the blows. of the trolls on the other side, and they're screeching, "Come in! Come in! You're just in time for dinner!"
We can call back. Come out. Come out.
"The door's stuck! We'll be out in a second! Wait for us!"
Okay.
Just come out one at a time. That's all we ask.
So they are.
Yeah, so what's the plan?
And we'll start then, gentlefolk. Who is doing what? Let's start. What is Brother Ishan of the 4 hit points doing? You're muted, by the way, Mark.
Yeah, being muted.
I just lost internet, and now I'm back, and I was muted. Damn it. I'm cowering in the back with my crossbow, but there's too many people in the way, so I can't shoot.
Okay. Cork, what is or Baron Von Headbanger? What is Cork doing?
I am readying my sword.
Okay. TK, what about Sir Outlier?
I'm in the front, so I'm readying sword. I will hew the first limb I see.
Okay.
And actually, hold up.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have Bless prepared today. So, no, because I'm still on my camp spells. Never mind. That's it.
Okay. Turgo, what about Doomsword, and what do you want Darawesh to be doing?
So this is 2 abreast, right?
You, where you are in the hall, is 3 abreast.
Okay, so that opening, basically, aside from the door, is 3 abreast. We can stand there and all make attacks through that entryway.
That is correct.
All right. I'll yell out, "Darwesh, cover the rear. I'll take the front position."
You hear
and I'll ready my weapons.
You hear his sword hiss as it is drawn from its scabbard, and the clank on his boots as he is watching the rear. Just to make this convenient, do you all just wait until the door is bashed down? Mm-hmm. Okay. I am going to adjust the camera slightly to get it a little bit more on center.
Somehow, I don't think we're going to be surprised, though.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, no, there. You're in luck. There's no surprise around here.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough group, isn't it?
It is. Has anybody got oil?
I do, but I'm in the front. So, as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to burn them when they're all dead.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, maybe you could chuck it behind them or something, but as long as nobody don't throw no oil on me, I'll be happy.
And, I don't. Can 2 of them get out of this doorway at a time? I wouldn't think so.
I wouldn't think so. Yeah, I wouldn't think so. I think I think we're lucky to be able to attack 2 of them at once, and only one of them actually make it through the door.
Mm-hmm. Now, what's really scary is when you give trolls, pole arms on chain, like with chainsaws mounted on the end, and that's when it gets really fun.
Well, I wasn't gonna do that, but that's too good of an idea to let pass. So you hear a revving sound.
You're welcome.
Do any of your people have a spare spear or polearm? I'm not proficient, but at least I could try to help.
I have a bill hook.
If you're not using it, it's a polearm.
All yours.
If I can just try to poke from the back rank and maybe get 1 or 2 hits.
It does 2d4.
If I hit, yeah.
Well, I mean, hey, I'm optimistic. What can I say?
I'll look up my
Okay. So the door splinters and the pieces of it are yanked inward. There stands a troll, grinning and cackling, and he rubs his bony, rubbery hands together and says, "We'd love to have you for dinner." So I have declarations from you all. I'm guessing Snicker Snack and etc.
Yep.
All right, let's roll initiative, please, and we'll start at the top. Mark, roll initiative for the party, please.
6.
I rolled a 3. The party will go first.
That might actually miss.
Sweet. $18 hits.
Oh, absolutely, an 18 hits.
Are these guys large or are they medium?
They are large. The trolls are very large. Let me not very large like Storm Giant or Titan very large, but they loom over you.
All right.
Now you are using your Vorpal sword, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
No, I
just
hit
use
AC3.
You hit AC3, then you hit.
Ooh, goody! So I have to roll. I have to roll a 4 or higher to hit these guys. Awesome.
12 damage total.
Okay. It screeches in pain as your sword bites into it.
13 for me.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So this thing just horrid, greasy internal parts and thick blackish blood spurting out. Very well done. Hang on a second. I'm almost to the page in my notes I need to be at.
Yeah. So even if we can't burn them, if we can just beat them down hard enough and then burn them.
There you go.
Okay. All right. Next attack. Darwish is sticking in the back. Is Turgo up front fighting?
Yes, sir.
All right. Swing, Bata, swing.
Eat cold steel. I hack it with the long sword and the dagger, hopefully. And neither of those are going to hit. Clearly not.
The sword clearly doesn't like you. You should give it to me.
Give me those gloves.
I'll give you my +4 sword instead. You might be able to hit with that one.
It bellows hatefully. It leans over, lunges over to bite at Cork, and it will claw once at Turgo and once at Outlier.
AC2.
A multitasking
AC
troll.
-2.
Someday
So miss with a bite, miss with a claw.
AC3.
Turgo, you are rent for 6 points of damage. It smacks you with a claw.
Nah, you'll pay for that.
Okay.
They literally will pay.
Now, was Ishan attacking from the second rank?
If you'll let me, he has a bill hook. He's not proficient, but he will try.
You can use a polearm. You're not proficient, so you'll attack at -4, but you can absolutely take a swing.
It's -3. I just looked it up. But
oh, I'm sorry. Yes,
no problem. No problem. Lots of tables. I rolled a 3, so it doesn't matter.
Okay. You're standing there holding the polearm, going, "One of these goes in the monster."
Which ends which? That's what I'm doing this round.
I had rolled a 2 and a 4 on my dual weapon strike, so your 3 is like right in the middle of suck.
Okay.
I rolled a 4 to hit, but somehow that turns into a 13 total for me.
Yeah.
That's why I said give the thief the +4 sword. He won't miss as much.
You guys, no one here speaks troll, so these things are kind of glibbering and screeching at each other. You're not sure if they're instructions, curse words, singing, or whatever. New rounds. What is Brother Ishan doing?
Continuing to be ineffectual, but trying. I'll try to poke her with the bill hook again.
Okay. Cork, Baron Cork going to continue to snicker snack away?
Oh, yeah.
Outlier, you going to do that outlying thing? And Turgo, I'm assuming you're attacking also, right?
Yep, retributive strikes.
All right, let's roll initiative. And Baron, roll initiative for the side, please.
All right. That's a 6.
Nice.
The party goes first.
All right, Brother Ejon, just think about this. He needs that bill hook in the gut. It would do him good. So
Which end's the bill and which end's the hook?
Bill, does an AC 4 hit? I rolled a 3.
oh, I think somebody hit.
Well, I rolled a 20. Minus 3 is a 17. Is a 17 that would hit an AC 3? AC 4.
Yes, it hits. Yes. Wait, Cork, you rolled a 20?
I rolled a 20. The pumpkin
Nice.
rolled a 20.
Yeah, Cork bats the thing's claws away, and you guys are raining blows down on this troll. Cork just steps in, snap, and the thing's head goes flying.
Okay.
I actually hit it and
goes-
just killed it.
Snack.
Yep. Yep.
See, when you hit it, he kind of went like that, and that made
Yeah.
it easier for me to. So
Okay.
it helped.
That
Yeah.
helped.
So the troll goes down. You look over and its mouth is moving, its tongue is whipping around. It's kind of horrid, actually. You know how there's that scene in The Thing where the guy's head stump
Oh yeah.
grows a bunch of pink tentacles and it starts dragging itself along? That's what you're seeing right now.
Oh.
As- It hasn't started to regenerate yet, but it's definitely going to.
Hey,
One of the
Turgo.
others, there's another one literally right behind him, stepping over into the attack. So anyone who hasn't attacked, which I think is just Turgo at this point, you can swing at the other one that stepped up.
Okay, I'll do that. The dagger will hit,
Okay.
which is at least it hits AC -1. The other one was a poor shot.
Okay. Drive it into
But the dagger is +3 versus larger than man sized.
excellent.
Yeah, 6 points of damage.
Yeah, so you did moderate longsword damage with your dagger. You
Basically, yeah. I've been waiting for this.
screaming in pain. And because it's you, he will direct all of his attack. Not because it's you, but because you're the one who stabbed him, he will direct all of his attacks.
Gee, thanks, I thought I was more liked than that around here.
You absolutely are. Of course you are. You are struck for 5 more points of damage. So this thing reaches down, sinks its iron hard nails into Turgo, jerks him forward as it leans down and bites him. There's a sickening wet crunch as this thing sinks its rotten but still ferociously hard teeth into Turgo, doing 9 points of damage.
Ouch.
And it's trying to rake you with its other claw, but misses with a 1.
All right. Yeah, it's got good hold of me.
Yeah. So yeah, he just kind of shakes you like a rag doll before dropping you, and it's never pleasant to see something licking your blood off of its hands, but that's what it's doing. So new round. Mark, what is Brother Ishan doing in the new round?
Is there any chance I can just stab at the one that's already dead to keep it down?
Absolutely.
I should maybe get a +4 because it's just sitting there, or maybe auto hit.
Yeah, I mean, you're basically jabbing at something big and lying on the floor. You can keep like chopping the tendons that are trying to knit back together, or however you want to describe it.
I'm on maintenance duty.
Okay. Baron, what about Cork?
I'm swinging at the one in the doorway.
All right. Sir Outlier.
I will fish out the oil since I don't think that either of my companions will do so, so I will start fishing out the flaming oil.
All right, you're spending this round fishing out oil. Want to make dwarves angry? Tell them they're related to trolls. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Unless you super chat me, and then I'll do it. But
I mean, also, I think it depends on like Scandinavian myth, because like Scandinavian trolls aren't that bad.
yeah.
And then again, Scandinavian dwarves were also related to elves because they were the same thing.
TK, I don't want to get too off track. Just a yes or no question, and then we're moving on with the game. Have you read The Broken Sword by Poul Anderson?
Yes.
Hell of a book. Okay, Doomsword, Turgo is in the moment of silence between a new clash of arms, listening to the rather distressing sound of a lot of your blood dripping out.
Darwash, assume my position. And I'm going to make a fighting withdrawal and command Darwish to take my spot.
Okay, Darwish sees how badly injured you are, and he's
been treated well.
I know he's been treated well. I'm adding this on. Says, yes, sir, and begins to march determinedly towards the front. So I have one fighting, one fishing out oil, one withdrawing, and one hacking at a dead body. Are you sending your dog into combat, by the way? Okay. Okay. Pooch is in the back then. Let's roll.
You have to guard the rear.
Roll initiative for the side, please, DK.
Yep. All right. 3.
Party will go first. Court, do something terrible to this thing.
I am
Come on.
going to try.
What'd you retreat for? You were fine.
I've been being hit for a while. If we had a clear it,
15
Next
hit.
time, open your mouth and ask for healing.
A 15 will hit.
Okay.
I got 3 of those today.
3,
That's for 1.
14 damage.
And because you have injured it, it just turns its focus right on you as Turgo is shuffling backwards, and Darwish is Darwish is like grabbing you by your harness and practically throwing you to the rear, Turgo.
Sweet. To be fair about the cleric remark, I lost 21 hit points in like 2 segments, so it ain't on you.
No, that's valid. That's valid.
So that is a miss. That is a miss. Come on, give me
post-combat or a pre-combat healer.
Oh, for pity's sake! So yeah, this thing sees Turgo scuttling backwards on his hands and heels and butt. You slash him, kind of breaks him out of his reverie, and he trips over the corpse of his fellow on the ground there and misses every attack. The other one in the back is like, you moron! And like literally trying to reach over and around the fellow to attack you. And there's another one in the back laughing and farting and blowing his nose. Even though there are only 3 troll miniatures, there are a total of 4. They're gorgeous. This is not an endorsement. This is not a paid endorsement, but the best trolls for AD&D are made by Otherworld Miniatures. They look exactly precisely like what's in the monster manual. And I'm a 3D printing fool. I'll say 3D print anything. If you have a 3D printer or a friend with a 3D printer, buy their trolls. Actually, buy all their minis. All their minis look like AD&D monster manual ones. But anyway, so yeah, this one is like trying to push his way around. You're not sure, but you think it may be able to wedge itself over there and at least just try and try and claw somebody in the front rank at the very least, but not in this round. So end of the round, Outlier, you have your oil out.
Yep.
Doomsword, Turgo has fallen back. Mark, Brother Ishan continues to chop at this thing every time like it starts to twitch, and it's starting to twitch now. Like you said, you're seeing its head sort of scoot across the floor. You bring it down on reforming tendons, re-knitting arteries and veins and bits of muscle and so on. So you're basically doing the polearm damage every round, which is stopping it from reforming. So in the new round, Cork, you attacking again?
I'm holding the line.
All right. Outlier, you're basically just going to throw oil at your feet to try and get this thing?
Yes, I will. I will, engulf the gelatinous mass in fire.
Okay. The one on the ground or the one that's attacking?
In theory, I'd like to try and hit both. But if I have to choose one, I'll choose the one on the ground. Okay.
You'll be going after the one on the ground then. And Doomsword, you're going to roll for Darawesh. Darawesh is fighter 3, I believe.
Okay, that's fine. He's got what, +2 scimitar?
Yes, that is correct. So
yeah, and I personally, Turgo would like to take up stance shoulder to shoulder with the monk and draw his bow. And if there's a clear shot, he'll take it.
Flaming
Brother
oil.
Brother Ishan is like pushing his hip over to Turgo. Turgo, that poach there. Take it. Step. Take that poach. Take that. It's the healing
Which
potion
one?
you gave me.
The potion. Yeah.
Take it.
If he tells me that before I do anything as Turgo, I'll grab that and take it.
That's fine. We're in declaration phase, so you can be. You will spend this round getting the potion out of because you're like, there's a peace symbol. There's beads. What are the dead who are grateful? There's a song book in there of them.
It's not that big of a build potion.
All right. So let's go ahead and roll initiative, and I think you're going to be rolling that for me, Doomsword. I promise you, I'm not doing this in favor of the players. I just rolled a 1 for initiative. So unless you guys also roll a 1, you will get the attack.
No. 4.
All right, missile fire goes first, but that is that's a fait accompli. Roll 2d6 damage, please.
Absolutely. Well, I'm hitting the one that's dead, so I would think that I'd probably just kill it. But 8 total.
Okay. It blisters and sizzles, and the mouth on the head that's kind of lying sideways and trying to scoot back over to the body just screams soundlessly. That's a little distressing. That's going to stick with you when you lay your bedroll down tonight.
I'll drink away that image later.
Exactly. Okay. So melee attacks for Darawesh and Cork, then, please.
Cork it.
15 again. Okay. I can't tell if it's a 9 or a 6.
And that's why you have to die.
On a 1, 2, 3, it's a 9. On a 4, 5, 6.
We'll just say 6. That's 10 damage total then.
Okay. So 10 damage, and you had done 14, so that's 24. Darawesh hit.
All right, he gets the chunk and die here.
All right.
That's not going to do any good. I rolled a 5.
Oof.
Okay. All right. Yeah, he kind of has to he leans in and then sort of withdraws a little when the fire lights up. He's avoiding that dwarf because that dwarf has got fire. He will continue to attack Cork as the primary danger. I'm sorry. Cork is armor class 1?
2.
2. Okay.
Oh, I mean, yeah, sure, 1.
Yeah, at least you're honest.
All right, let's see here. I gotta get over to that table because I got a mid roll, and it's like, is it attack matrices? There we go. And by the way, earlier, folks, when I was asking about 3 hearts and 3 lions, that is a hit with a claw on Cork. That is a miss with a claw on, or miss with a bite on Cork, and a miss with a claw on Cork. So Cork takes that is 6 points of damage that Cork takes. The Broken Sword, of course, is one of the great novels, fantasy novels by Poul Anderson, and it is an Appendix N novel. So if you want a little insight into Gary's mindset for some of the elements that he drew forth for both original and advanced Dungeons and Dragons, I do recommend it if you haven't.
I think the 3 hearts and 3 lions troll is the reason why I don't run trolls like the instructions tell me to. It's one of the reasons why I give them like regen 20 a turn. Because you can't, because like the 1 hit point, or even in later editions 5 hit points, it doesn't keep up.
Well, I think I'll be a troll and say that Faka would save you the attack matrices, Bill.
Say again. You're not that far. You're an afternoon's drive. Oh wait.
Just use the combat calculator. Much better. Much better.
I like that, and you can throw it across the table at a player who's annoying you.
It's a vorpal.
There you go. Okay.
Copy of the matrices open next to me.
It is not just 1 point in AD&D though that trolls regenerate, but I'm not telling you. Okay, so yeah, it hit you with a claw. It did. It's 6 points of damage. That's all. The one on the ground will take an automatic D6 in the next round. Turgo, you have the potion out. You can drink it in this round. Let's go ahead then. I think we're back over to Mark. What is Brother Ishan doing?
Still keeping this troll down.
Okay. Cork, how about Baron Von Headbanger? How about Cork?
Peace. I'm going to swing again. I'm going to keep swinging at the one on the door.
All right. TK, you've got one on fire. What do you want to do with the big guy in front of you that is trying to eat Cork?
If I throw unlit oil on the one in front of me, will he be set alight from the one behind him being on fire?
Probably not, to be honest.
That's valid. Honestly, I'm going to focus on putting... wait, this guy's been hit twice by Cork before?
Yes.
Then I will prep flaming oil again.
Okay. And Darwash going to continue to fight?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Then Mark, roll initiative for the side, please. Oh, for pity's sake!
I rolled a 2.
That's fine. Fine. That's an absolutely fine roll. That's just fine. I tell you, after all these trips and everything, if I have any money, I want to get a dice cam, just like an inexpensive webcam, to show a dice rolling service, just so you guys can see that I don't know.
The GoPro?
It's just terrible.
The fisheye doesn't matter for a dice cam.
All right. Do your thing, guys.
No, I'm not doing anything. Good luck. Hit something.
I did.
Hit something.
17.
All right. That is sufficient to hit.
15.
Nice.
Okay, yeah. It's a lot of what is inside it is now outside of it, but it is also starting to go back inside of it. It is starting to regenerate. Turgo, did Darwish attack?
Oh. I'm basically rolling your initiative rolls, so.
Oh, gosh.
All right.
We roll badly, he rolls well.
It's continuing to focus its ire on the person who's hurting it the most, which is Cork. That is a miss. That is a hit. That is a miss. So it flails its claws at you furiously. You kind of bat them away with your sword and stab it, and then it leans over and places its mouth on top of your head and bites down.
Ow.
Yeah.
That's what helmets are for.
Yeah.
You take 11 points of damage from that bite. Just kind of shakes you like a dog shaking a bit of game.
Yeah, I guess Turgo drink that potion.
Okay, that is going to be, what is that? Potion of healing is...
Yeah, I couldn't remember offhand either.
I'll have to look it up. Giant cat.
Awesome.
You don't get
That
that.
thing's huge. Darwish, protect the rear.
And that is her favorite quarter of the part of the table. So she'll sit right there. So cat butt.
Potion of healing.
Potion of healing.
Sorry for looking it up in the book I should not be looking at. An entire potion must be consumed in a single drinking round in order for the liquid to restore 4 to 10 hit points of damage. So
Yep.
Gotcha. So we 1d8 plus 2. If you want to roll that, Bill, I'm cool with that.
2d4 plus 2, but close enough.
2d4
Oh, okay.
plus 2. So that is, wow, that's almost max. You get 9 hit points back.
Sweet.
Excellent.
And the one that's tried to cram itself in the side because it's not stupid is going to take a one-handed claw shot at Outlier.
Go for it.
Yeah, he actually, his long rubbery frame, he's able to lean over and swat Outlier and claws you for...
It's -2. Good for him.
Yeah, it's 19. He claws you for 7 points.
Yeah, that's all. Bring it. I'm going to laugh at him and tell him it tickles. My mother spanked me harder than that.
Okay. In the new round, Mark, Brother Ishin continuing to chop on the one on the floor.
Yeah, he's most effective doing that.
Okay, Cork, you're going to continue to hack and slay there, BVH?
I am going to do that and say a prayer to Hieronius that this guy misses me because it could be ugly.
Okay. How about Sir Outlier?
I will apply healing to the paladin.
Okay, so you're casting CLW?
Yep. Nice stuff. I have a bottle of burning oil in one hand, and I'm casting Cure Light Wounds in the other.
Okay. Darwish continuing to attack, and Turgo now has 9 hit points back. So we'll go ahead and...
Turgo's going to command. Darwish, return to your spot. Give me my fill.
Ducking under swatting claws and so on, Darwish begins to shuffle backwards. But let's roll initiative, and Baron von Headbanger, roll initiative, please.
Oh, crap. I rolled a 1.
Woohoo! I mean, oh, darn.
At least I won't be there when they attack. I got one more round.
Misses.
Claw, bite, claw. This thing just lunges forward and begins to rip and tear at Baron von Headbanger, rather at Cork, striking him 3 times.
Oh,
so
God.
You take...
Well,
I think this might be the end.
6 total. No, wait. That's 6 and 6. So you take 12 from clawing.
6. Psych.
And you take 10 from the bite.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Ow.
End of Cork.
hi, Cork.
I had 5 hit points left, so.
Oh, yeah. No.
It
He got ripped
picks
to
Cork
shreds.
up, sinks its claw. You hear his armor buckle and pop as it picks him up, and it literally bites him in half.
Well, good news. We can still raise dead him.
Or I could just take the Vorpal sword or whatever.
But
I
TK,
stopped to give you a +4 sword, and you were like, "I like my frost one better."
you'll raise dead him, and then he'll come back and be all pissed off that you raised deaded him.
He'll be a revenant.
But that's not my problem.
Okay. And the other one is still leaning in. It's now got both of its arms in and can swat at Outlier. It can't bite you, though. It doesn't have enough room to lean down and bite you, but it can swat at you and hits you once with a claw, which disrupts your Cure Light Wounds spell. I'm sorry.
It does. At least I could have chosen a different target if he hadn't hit me. So
yeah, he swats you and does 7 points of damage.
okay, I can take 3 more of those.
Okay. Yeah, Darwesh is flipping places with Turgo. Turgo, you step forward just in time to see your longtime comrade Cork get burst open.
I weep inside.
Okay.
I mostly weep for our chances now because that's a pretty big load.
Oh yeah, we're hugely screwed, and these guys are fast. And we got a monk behind us. You know?
I'm probably faster than they are, if that's worth it.
yeah, you'll get away.
Should I go to the elevator and get it ready? Like press the button so you can
We won't live that long.
Turgo may make an attack in this round.
All right, I'll gladly attempt it. It hasn't been going very well. So the long sword hits AC 8, and the dagger hits AC 3.
The dagger hits.
Man, these dice rolls are horrible.
Yeah, I swear it's that sword.
Yeah, dagger does 6 points of damage.
You always hit with that dagger.
You stab something vital in it, and it screams and falls over.
Yes.
2 down.
Okay, so 2 down, 2 to go.
2 down, 2 to go.
All right.
As a matter of fact, I guess at this point, or for the next round or whatever, since Cork is down, Darwish could actually take his place and we could still fight 3 abreast.
Yeah, if you want Darwish up there, now's the time to order him into action. Actually, let me see here. Darwish says, "Should I enter the fray, my lord?"
What the hell do you think?
All right.
No.
He's moved.
Good answer.
He moved back. Now he's moving forward, so he will be there to fight in the next round. Mark, what is Brother Ishun doing?
Besides keeping the now several down trolls down, like not to be pessimistic, but should we be backing up and leaving, please?
No.
All right. TK, what is Sir Outlier doing?
Applying oil to the living one.
Okay. Doomsword and Darwish are going. I'm sorry, Turgo and Darwish are going to fight Doomsword.
Absolutely.
All right. TK, you want to roll initiative, please?
Sure. Here goes death. That's a 1.
Okay. This troll looks at the people coming back into the fight, regards Turgo, regards the dwarf who's holding flaming oil, and leans over, and he's going to lunge at you all. So that is a miss for a claw attack on Turgo. That is a miss for a bite attack on... Wait, what is Darwish's armor class?
I think we gave him banded, right?
Yeah, he has banded and shield.
Right, so 3.
And then if he has dex bonus.
All right, Darwesh takes a bite attack and suffers 4 points of damage. The first really low bite attack damage I've done tonight. And a claw attack is going against TK. It's trying to swat the oil out of Outlier's hand. And although he does hit you, that's not that's not a thing. Disarming is by and large not a thing in AD&D. So you take. It can happen. There are special weapons and conditions and so on.
I take.
8 points.
Okay. They hit -2 and 18. Okay, wow.
Yep.
All right, so. All right.
Not to be that guy, but are you factoring in that dwarves get a -4 AC get versus from trolls?
Thank you.
Oh.
I'll make
Well, that's
myself
a
get
different
by.
matter. So, no, he does not. And to be fair, Mark, you're the one who who will oftentimes pop up with the Professor Sylvie, you forgot to give us a quiz before we left on Christmas vacation moments with, actually, guys, we shouldn't be getting these bonuses moments. So it's a fair cop. So
Fair cop.
you
That
do.
wasn't even on my sheet, so good for you.
I'm letting all the other damage stand.
That's valid.
Not going to.
What, you don't want me back at full hit points?
No. Something game balance, something, but I don't know.
I only have 35.
Okay. Well, everybody line up behind the dwarf. I'll get the railgun. Okay, top of the order. Mark is brother Isha. Or no. Mark, brother
It's
Isha.
now our go.
Okay, yes, it's your go. TK, you are doing what?
We haven't even gone yet. It was.
I know. I'm asking you.
Okay. I was throwing oil
Okay, do it.
because Ishan's stabbing. That's plus. That's not looking good. Ew. AC 6?
That is not sufficient.
Do we have +1 from close range and bring it to 5?
Let's see.
If oil has a close range bonus.
Still not sufficient. So give me a D6 and a D8. This is going to be funny because you could potentially light Turgo or Darwish on fire here.
6 and 4.
Don't light me on fire, bro.
So beware if if we lived in a world that was a little less puckered as far as copyrights go, I'd drop a little Van Halen him on fire there. But okay,
Eruption.
a 6. That was a 6 and a 4.
Yup.
Okay,
6 on the D8, 4 on the D6.
6 feet short in front. So basically, it drops out of your hands and falls on the floor directly in front of the target. But it is still 6 feet away from it. So it lands on the ground, breaks open, and proceeds to burn.
Does it hit a dead one?
Yeah, you know what? That's okay. It kind of runs and sizzles one lying on the ground. That Ishan is like, are you varying your targets? Like hit one, hit the other, hit one, hit the other.
Yeah, I'm spreading it around.
Okay. All right. So Turgo and Darwesh, do your thing.
Yeah, we can attack through the fire and stuff. It's like not high enough that
It's leaning over the flames, like trying to avoid them. But yeah, if it can hit you, you can hit it.
Yeah, I mean, I got back control of Turgo, so if you want to roll for Darwesh, I'm totally cool with that. And
You hit with the dagger again?
no, I'm not even. A 1. I didn't even want to say a 1 and an 8. I'm not talking about it anymore.
We need new dice.
Yeah, and then the second I change them, that would have been the hot pair, and I'll get a 1 and a 2, a 5, and something ugly.
All right.
I've been using the same set since day one. It's why I don't believe in changing dice. Just pick up a set and use them.
All right. Well, good news. Darwesh connects. The scimitar versus large is identical. It's 1 to 8, 1 to 8. So Darwesh carves a small chunk off of the thing for a couple of points of damage.
At least it's a +2 scimitar.
It is. So that is it. It carves 4 off of it.
And not to nerd out, but I think the big benefit of the scimitar, right, was it was like weapon speed factor 4 versus longsword, which was 5. So longsword would do more against the large guys, but if you depended on weapon speed factor, scimitar was a sweet weapon. That 1d8 was always the bitch though.
And the +2 for the follower is mostly for the to hit, not as much the damage anyway.
Okay. So new round. Mark, Brother Ishan, continuing to play the dungeon cantata on the downed trolls.
Yep. Keep the down trolls down. That's my job.
Okay.
Where the down trolls go.
TK Outlier is going to do what now in the next
I'm
round?
now applying sword.
All right. Vitamin sword.
About damn time.
Turgo and
Nobody's going to burn them. Nobody else was.
Turgo and Darwesh are going to do their thing, right?
Yeah, we got to hack these guys this time. No excuses, Darwesh.
Have Darwish apply oil.
Doom sword, roll initiative, please.
The person that does the most damage shouldn't be the one throwing the damage.
Man, this better work out. Fucking 1.
All right. Darwesh, Turgo, Outlier. Darwesh is struck. Darwesh takes a ripping claw attack for 6 points. Outlier. Or Turgo, rather. Turgo is missed. Outlier is missed. Rip and tear. Rip and tear.
Darwesh, take the pain.
All right. Darwesh swings his scimitar. Swing, troll. Well, I'm sorry. There's the other one trying to get in also. Miss and miss. Actually, wait. That may hit you.
6 is 8 plus 4 is 12 damage.
That may hit you. 16. Nope. Still doesn't hit you. All right. Counterattacks, please.
12 damage to troll number A.
All right.
I'll try again with Turgo.
Darwesh just did 5 points to it.
Sweet. Let's see. I'm gonna roll them separately this time. But close together. Longsword. The longsword's a 1, and the dagger hits AC 4.
The dagger hits.
You have
A 1.
That rivals one of my best friends.
This is absolutely horrible this week, but that's okay. That's 4 points of damage.
Okay. Total?
Yeah, just the dagger. I rolled a 1 on the damage too, so.
I was rolling really good and I got torn apart, so I don't feel bad.
Yeah.
Like my daddy used to say, some days you get the bear and someday the bear gets you.
Sometimes you wear the bear.
Yep. All right. So you guys have done 24 4. That's 5, and then 10, and then another. Okay, well, you've done considerable damage to this thing.
Was I that one?
It's staying in the fight.
Hey, is it acceptable for like Baron to take control? I was about to call him Cork. For Baron to take control of Darwesh.
Absolutely.
Like I won't be like, hey, now you must bow to my will, Baron. Like as a separate guy. I won't
Baron,
tell you what to do or whatever,
He's fighter 3, armor class 3. He is fighting with a scimitar +2.
It'll give you something to do.
Yeah. So new round. Ishan continuing to chop.
Yes.
Let's see.
There's 2 left, right?
Yes, there's 2 left. One is uninjured. The other is badly injured. So let's go ahead and roll initiative then, I guess. And I think it's whose turn is it at this point?
Mark.
Hey, Mark, roll initiative, please.
I rolled a 4.
That's not bad.
I rolled a 1. Party will go first. If you want to see the characters survive, super chat $10. If you want to see them die, super chat $50. I'm kidding.
Yeah, it's the other way around. You guys
Yes.
better super chat and keep me alive, or I quit everything.
Deeply
I
here.
rage quit.
All right, make your attacks, guys.
Yeah. I'm waiting to see what they say first.
Oh, crud. Well, I rolled a 1.
No, you're just that little character's a little. You gotta get used to it. All right,
Yeah.
that's obviously.
You're just being me.
All right.
Me.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, hey, the longsword actually hits. The longsword actually hits AC 0, and the dagger hits AC 4. I think that they both hit.
Both of them hit.
Holy crap! Now I dropped my 4-sided on the ground.
Minimum damage.
I got a bunch of them. There we go. Yeah, I just have multiple damages. So yeah, that's 6 and 6, so 12. Sorry for the delay.
No, that's okay. Yeah, that carves it up quite nicely.
Can I reach around and get the one that's been messing with us from the corner?
No, not really.
Okay, well. That's still AC 1 and a bunch of excess damage to it.
So sufficient. Roll your excess damage, please.
Oh, if you want the total, that's a total of 15.
Okay, that brings it down. There is 1 troll remaining. That troll sees what you do and screams, "Filthy, stinky dwarf!"
You got that right.
It hits you with a claw attack and inflicts 5 points of damage.
Oh, come on. My dog bites me harder than that to wake me up in the morning.
Okay, so there is 1 troll left. The one on the ground is... you can kind of see folds of skin trying to knit back together. In the next round, what is Brother Ishan doing, Mark?
A swirl of blades as he tries to keep all these trolls down.
All right, Baron, you gonna have Darwesh scimitar?
Sure.
All right, Outlier.
I'm gonna move in and get to the other one.
Okay. I mean, it's right there. You don't have to do any more moving in than you feel necessary.
Burn them, Turgo. Burn them.
Turgo, how about it?
Yeah, I'm gonna take this guy out for sure.
All right, let's roll initiative, and I think we're over to Mark for initiative.
I think it was yeah.
Baron von Hangmayer. You're next.
My go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Baron, here you go.
4.
I got a 3. Party goes first. Do something terrible to him.
I hit AC 3.
That will hit.
19.
Min damage.
What does a scimitar do for large?
1d8 plus 2.
1d8 plus 2. All right.
Plus strength bonus,
Plus 3.
if any.
What is it? Plus 2 or plus 3?
Plus 2.
Plus
And
2.
that. Now I just lost count again.
Okay, total of 3.
11 damage for me.
All right. How about Turgo?
A miss with the longsword and a miss with the dagger.
I told you, use oil.
They're slippery.
Bite for Outlier. Claw for Darawesh. So missed claw for Turgo, missed bite for Outlier, hit claw on Court, or rather on Darawesh, and that is Darawesh takes another 6 points of damage. He is not looking good.
He's still standing?
Barely.
Take the pain.
Ah! It's pain.
Keep taking it. Kind of like that, but a little less noisy.
Can I take the pain over there, sir? Can I take my pain to go?
Sure. Whatever.
We'll heal you.
Remember, it's not my fault.
Barely hanging on. All right. New round. Mark, is Brother Ishan continuing to...
Yes, that is my job. I keep
He's
these trolls
going
down.
at that thing like a hedge trimmer. Just
Yep, just swing.
all right. All right. Baron is one-armed Darawesh still going to stay in the fight?
It's merely a flesh wound.
I guess I am.
All right. Outlier.
Yep. This thing's got to go down. Somebody, or else somebody else will.
Okay. And Turgo.
Yeah, I'm attacking this guy. Come on.
This cat has no respect for a live stat.
But it's cute.
You know, somebody gave me just recently, gave my son like 3 days ago, a cat that looks almost exactly like that. He's hugely fat, and he just hides under the bed because he doesn't trust anything.
Oh. All right.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Okay. It is TK's initiative roll. Roll it, TK.
6.
You got a 6?
Yeah, I got a 6. I literally, I rolled it while I was waiting.
All right.
Like, whoop.
Party has initiative. Lexi, please make good decisions and go have some kitty chow or something, won't you?
That's 19 plus math definitely hit. And that
All right, there's a 15 hit for Darwish.
15. Let's see.
Oh, duh. I'm doing something.
I think when I was rolling for him, I had calculated AC2 on that. Or 3.
Yes, that 15 total will hit.
Okay.
18 damage.
Give me more than a 1 this time. Oh, 3 again.
That is sufficient. Between the dwarf and Darwesh, they hack it down.
Now
Yeah.
set this thing on fire.
Okay. The other trolls in the room. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
They're called the YouTube audience.
Well, the YouTube commenters. No, I love you guys who comment regardless. I feel terrible though, because I often you guys keep that going like a Discord server. The you folks in the comments under my short videos, bravo. Some great engagement. Thank you all very much for your comments. I do read them. You get the little thumbs up, the little sticker from me. I'm reading them, I promise. If a house cat, yes, a giant cat can kill the entire dungeon. I'll just walk through, whap, 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 whap. Okay, the trolls are all down. What will you do, adventurers? What will you do?
Set them on fire.
Okay. Because, yeah, they're trying to get back up immediately.
How many pints of oil should I expend? What would make you happy?
It need not necessarily be burning oil. You just apply flame, and they're in amongst their nesting stuff. There is plenty in the room to burn.
Cool. I'm going to spend an oil flask anyway because I don't trust it.
That's fine. They groan and screech horribly as you burn them all.
From what I know of Paul Anderson, it's not a small flame that'll do it. You have to really burn them good. So it's Well, anything in the room?
Burn them all, Ralphie. Okay.
Anything in the room?
Yes. There's heaps of bedding and all sorts of foulness.
With this bill hook I've got, I'll start poking around the heaps of foulness.
Okay. There are rotting sacks sort of piled up for one of their beds that you can clearly see have burst open, and there are silver coins pouring out of it. Thousands of silver coins easily.
Okay.
And there is a large chest with a rather mammoth padlock on it. So you see that. As I was telling my Monday night group, both of my PCs said, you know what, we're actually quite frankly tired of waiting on you to shut us down and let us update Windows because you've been saying snooze for months. We're doing it ourselves. So I did lose some notes and I apologize. So we're kind of doing this treasure generation on the fly. Okay, so you have the aforementioned chest. You have the bag with Lord knows how many silver pieces lying on it there. And then if you're interested in any of the troll's personal possessions, well, there's as many gnawed bones and rat skins, and by dint of they didn't eat all of the skin that the rat had on its body, not cured it or anything like that, and troll dung and other horribleness in the room that you want.
Okay, any secret doors? Because I have stoneworking, so.
A careful examination of the room reveals nothing of the sort.
Okay.
Darawesh is in agony. He is...
yeah, I'll heal him while we're waiting on the DM to generate treasure.
Oh, that's it. That you have the treasure chest, or you have a chest which presumably has treasure in it. And
no, I mean that's when I would have healed him.
Oh, okay.
I was being facetious.
All
right. Great. That's one back for the follower.
Okay.
I'll burn another cure light wounds. That's 4 back for Turgo. And that's 6 back for me, because apparently that's how that should work.
Okay. 1, 4, and 6. There's
1,
probably
4.
some mathematical progression of that. I don't know, some Fibonacci sequence or something like that, but there we are.
Numerology.
Yeah.
Alas, poor Cork. I knew you twice as well as I would have liked, and liked you a quarter of that or something.
Yeah.
This guy's dead,
So,
but I see a chest.
so we have a problem. Well, sort of. This is why I put a drag harness on everybody's gear, and I will go and I will clip my dog's leash to his drag harness,
Okay.
and it's amazing. We can just drag him right out.
There you go.
Very well, I'll check this chest.
Why don't we just take it out with us?
Well, we could, but what if it's trapped?
It's
It's
a very
huge.
convenient box.
The
Well,
ch-
Yes, but it could be on a pressure plate. There are many things. There are
yeah,
many
that's fair,
things,
that's fair.
dwarf, that thieves understand that dwarves, even given their thievish heritage, don't.
Hey, if you want to check and see if it's trapped, go ahead. I'm not the one that sat the wizard in the magic chair.
Well, fair
Okay.
enough. I would like to take a look.
you do not find any traps on it. Also, this chest is steamer trunk sized. It is not. It's like Hope chest big. It's not. It's not a little like, oh, I can just pick this up and carry it out.
Yeah, and you had mentioned it was a big padlock, so I'd like to examine that carefully. I mean, I assume it's shut and everything, and I don't know if the fine traps that I performed on the chest itself would also cover the padlock, but I want to give it careful attention.
Okay. You are absolutely certain there are no traps on that padlock. There's lots of teeth marks on it. It looks like it's been bashed repeatedly, but it is still solid.
And it looks like none of that bashing or damage would prevent me from attempting to open it.
No.
Fair dwarf. It appears to be free of traps. Perhaps you would like me to open the lock. It could be full of lead.
Sure. I
It
can
could
also
be full
apply.
of...
You want to apply sword to lock, or you want to try and unlock it?
Well, it is my specialty.
Go for it.
What is your open locks?
That would be 52. 5-2.
Easily done.
Sweet.
This is the Lockpicking Turgo, and today we have fan of the
and we've got a happy little
An
lockpick
unprotected
over here.
and
And we
single
just...
core shackle lock.
We use a pick in 1/50,000th, and there you go. You get these on the marketplace covert instruments. All right, so yeah, you pop the lock open, and you're gonna,
There you are, fair dwarf. Open her up.
okay. There's easily a couple of thousand gold pieces here. And dotted through the chest, you also espy many pieces of jewelry.
It still doesn't change my mind the fact that I should just grab it up by the handles, or if nothing else, you grab one handle and I grab the other. We just swap it out that way.
All right.
It's a ready-made
It's just going to
container.
be heavy.
Yeah,
I'm not carrying it.
I have 18 double nut
Darwish.
strength, so
Well, perhaps you can
can
carry it
reanimate
yourself.
me and I'll help carry it.
Do we want to take any of the other coins?
the silver I was planning on leaving behind. I'm going to have enough of a handful with this box.
Yeah. Well, if someone has a sack, I could put a few in the sack, I guess.
Sure. Very good.
I do have a couple of large sacks.
I'm technically a big sack. You could just shove it all in.
So I'll take
Body
2 large
habit.
sacks, one from the TK, one from Doom Sword, and
Yeah.
I'll fill it full of. So I'll at least have like 800 silver pieces. But
Yep. My dog could drag some, but he's currently dragging a paladin, so
he's dragging something that's of more worth.
I
Okay.
don't know, man. 800 silver in the hand is worth at least one paladin.
Is that the deal, Bill? Like, if I were to fill up a large sack, I'd get what, 400 silver in it or something. What's the deal on that?
A large sack. I mean, you're talking about like a sack for grain or something like that. So it's like,
Right.
it's like that. So yeah, you're gonna fit maybe. You think you could put maybe 100 pounds of silver in there?
Right. So yeah. I can't carry that much, but I'll take like half of that in the sack that I have remaining after I gave the one to Brother Eve some.
Okay.
I have 2 large sacks. Do I fill them both with 100 pounds of silver? Would be 1,000 silver each. Right?
Nice.
Yeah.
Even better.
So how much silver can I can take 2,000, I guess.
Yes.
That'll
And that-
weigh me. That'll weigh
Can
me
you
down
carry
a lot.
that?
Slowly, yes.
Yeah, I'm nowhere near. I mean, I got a weight allowance of 100. I'm just taking 50 pounds of that crap. The rest can whatever.
That is.
Actually, that's a very good point. I can't carry that much.
I'm presuming all of my encumbrance will be from the big stuff. So
I can take another I can take 1 large sack, so one sack of silver.
okay. Well, hey,
And
1,000 silver still not nothing.
Move pretty slowly, but I'll be.
It's still 200 more than you thought you were going to get away with before.
Yeah, exactly.
Alrighty. So, where are you guys going next? Where are you exploring next in the dungeon?
The exit.
Yeah.
You're going to visit the Grand Egress, eh?
The great.
Yeah, we got to get out of here, and we got to figure out
We have
what
power
to do
to
about
resurrect.
Cork. I don't know if such a facility exists, but maybe he just wants Darwash, you know.
I mean, is there a special rule against raising paladins that I don't know about?
No. I mean, he still has to make a system shock roll.
Well, yeah, I figured that, but okay. So, but they can be raised. They're not like elves.
Right. Correct. No, he's a human. They can absolutely come back multiple times, as many times as they have Constitution down to 3.
What was his level anyway? Was he 3, 4? 3? Yeah, I mean, if it's, you know.
He was very close to 4.
Remember the church, in exchange for that rod that I gave them, gave me a grand total of 8 raised deads to use. We've used 3. This will be number 4.
Yep, whatever you guys want to do is cool with me.
You all
So-
knew Cork better than I did. Would he want to be raised?
Yes.
Well, there you have it.
If only so he can continue to make his mistakes over again. Besides, he was the only fun paladin I've met.
You've spent about 4 turns in this room thus far. You've piled up treasure in sacks. The Turgo, your sword is saying, hey, there's jewelry in that chest. I want it.
I want it too. Just bide your time. I'll have a lot more flexibility after we get out of the dungeon.
Turgo, why are you talking to your sword?
All right.
That's for me to know and for you to find out.
Are you guys exiting the dungeon or are you remaining?
Yeah. No, we are exit as soon as everything is loaded up. We are exiting.
So like blood covered Grinches.
Yep.
You leave this
Murder hobos.
little bit of wire hanging on strings and the occasional broken Christmas ball here and again, but you make it back to the elevator without encountering anything untowards. And
Up the sack back up the chimney.
yes, exactly. So, elevator goes up, no problems. Doors open, and out you go.
The chair still propping open the door.
Yes, it is.
Cool. I will pile that chair on top of the, probably on top of the dead paladin. Have the dog drag the chair and the paladin. And we'll add a 6th chair to our list.
RPG Grandma asked, did they collect troll parts for selling? Nope, they sure didn't.
Nope.
They burnt them all to a
I
crisp.
never claimed to be smart. I'm SMRT, thank you.
Yes. All right. So back to the longhouse you go then.
Also, by the way, thanks for the shout. Next time, do it like 10 minutes sooner because I really, really needed that to give my alchemist, and now I'm really, really mad that I forgot.
And TJ points out you guys did burn them to a crisp anyway.
I was gonna say something, but I was dead.
Oh, my academics memory. Oh, damn it.
You guys get like 100 yards from the longhouse. Brass dragon lands. Looks at your bag. Eyes get puppy dog big. Gimme.
He's like, tell you what, we'll give it to you. Just give us the hearts of 4 trolls.
No, nothing nearly so humorous or untowards happens when you guys arrive back at the cabin, and they've kind of written on the wall with chalk some of the on the flat planks. Welcome back, Brother Ishan, Sir Outlier, Turgo, Darawesh, and they see you walk in and they're rapidly rubbing cork.
nice strike through.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
Okay, so you are back at the longhouse. You have the treasure. Yeah. There are some pieces of jewelry mixed in with the gold.
Cool. Let's just load it all on the wagon and count it on the way.
Yeah, we can do that. You know, I figured as is customary, I'll examine the jewelry as I usually do, whether that be on the travel or, you know, whatever. I mean, if we, however you want to do it.
Yep. We make the most of that. The warmer the paladin's body is, the easier it will be for them. So let's get back there as soon as we can. Besides, he's going to start to stink.
Will it take a bunch of time to examine that jewelry? I mean, do you want me to you to give me estimated values now? I'll write them down and leave them in notes, or we can deal with that next time or whatever.
We can deal with that. We can deal with that next time.
Awesome.
All right.
All right. So you make your way back to the longhouse. They pack up.
It's like, all right, guys, everybody back in the wagon. But we just unpacked. Back in the wagon.
They don't even bother anymore. They don't unpack anything till you guys come back and say we're staying the night.
Yeah, it's like
all that stuff was still in the wagon. They're just like they're either going to come back, they're not going to come back, or they're either going to come back and say we got to leave. They're not going to come back at all, or they're going to come back and say we're staying the night. If it's the third one, then we're unpacking. Otherwise, all right.
And the third one is least likely.
Well, typically, like if we stay, it's also usually for like 1 to 2 weeks too, which is the funny thing. So it's very much all or nothing.
Correct.
We did it so good until the paladin ate dirt. I am really mad about forgetting about that blood, though. Oh.
Hey, I was just trying to hold the door, you know.
How many potions of extra healing was that?
Bill.
I mean, 4 adult trolls with nearly max hit points. My goodness.
Yep.
The lives that saved.
I'm going to put a point in my thesis just to say F you, Bill. I'm finishing it today, so. Literally.
It's nice to know I'm making waves in academia.
I'll work it in there.
All right. So you depart. It is roughly midday-ish. Let's see. We will say you hear some howling wolves, but they don't seem to want any truck with you unless you guys want to go and attack them.
You gonna feed the paladin to him? I didn't say we would. I'm curious. I'm doing a poll.
You can do anything you want. He's not
What do
going
we
to care.
think? Group poll? Feed the paladin, don't feed the paladin? What about his legs? You don't need those. Could you imagine being resurrected? Like raised dead, right? Then you just come back without your legs. It's like, what'd you bother? that would suck.
The combat wheelchair, my man.
Yeah. I'm speaking of a disabled person. That would suck.
Okay, so your journey back to the Wayfarers Inn there, the last chance, is uneventful.
Okay.
Are you stopping and staying the night? Or are you pressing on to Greyhawk to arrive there the next morning? Because it is deep in the night when you arrive there.
I'll drop now I want to call her Casey, and that's not right. One sec. Clara. I'll drop Clara off at the last chance inn. Let her get some sleep there. Give her her gold. Tell her we'll be back.
It was my understanding that Clara did not accompany you, but that was your other stewards. Is that not correct?
No, Clara would be going back and forth with us from the Longhouse, etc.
Okay. All right.
Otherwise, I don't know where we'd put her.
Well, I mean, you have rooms at the Green Dragon, but that's fine. That's absolutely fine. All right. So you're going to basically let her stay here. You're going to pay for a week or a fortnight or whatever.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll hand her 5 gold. Tell her go nuts. Spend it wisely.
All righty. She smiles, curtsies, and waves you brave lads on in the morning.
See what she can find out.
All right. So near dawn, you're about halfway, you think, to the city. And let's see if you encounter anything.
Okay. On the ride, do you mind if I cast Cure Wounds on myself, Darwesh, and Durgo?
Not at all.
Okay. Darwesh gets 3. I get 1. And Turgo gets 2. And then plus 1 from day's rest.
Again, there's nothing nothing particularly eventful happens as you continue onward.
Okay. Darwish, how are you and Turgo doing? I've got 1 more of those.
I'm still wounded, but I've survived worse.
I asked Darwish because Turgo had whined too much. How's Turgo looking?
About 2/3.
About 2/3.
Yeah.
Yeah, same as me. All right. All right. The whiny thief gets 5.
Okay. So you guys, you arrive back. It's near. It's early morning, so the main gate is open. You do not have to go through the postern gate. There is the usual toll to be paid.
1 gold each. Yep.
Yes. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Doomsword is quite high level. So, how many silver did Brother Ishan give away back at the Last Chance Inn? TJ wants to know.
I think we just did a drive. I think we just did a drive-by where it's like, take our seamstress.
Yeah.
He's like,
And
here's
Brother
the whole
Ishan's, like
sack.
shaking a sack out.
Yeah. You can have the whole thing.
A nice sewing lady.
No, Brother Ishan still has the sack of silver. So he, how much is the entrance fee? It's like 1 silver a piece.
It's 10.
Yeah,
I
okay.
think 20. It's 1 gold worth.
Entry
All right,
fee
so
paid.
let's. Oh, thank you so much. Joe's Atmosphere says Marcus.
That's my friend.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, thank you for the shout out to Joe's Atmosphere.
I'm actually the second mark here. I just don't use it because I don't want to get confusing.
I see. I gotcha. Well, just the same, we appreciate the super. Thank
My
you so
brother
much.
from another mother.
Right on.
Okay.
All right.
Can we make it to the city?
Yes, you do make it. You do make it to the city. Those pieces of jewelry, of which there are 3. I will tell you about those here in just a minute. We're just going to dice those up raw right now. Let's have some fun.
Okay. And I will drag the cleric's body or the paladin's body back to the Temple of Hieronius. Oh, actually, no. In this instance, it would be the temple to why am I blared?
All right. I'll accompany.
Sure.
You have a tiara, silver set with gems that you estimate may be worth quite a bit there, Turgo. You also have a golden crown set with gems that you think is... Actually, it's not as nice as the silver tiara. It's not nearly as ornate, but it'll still fetch you a good price. And the last piece, come on. Thank you. Is a wrought gold belt. It's just of links, and it is worth... Oh, you think the wrought gold belt's maybe worth 800. So the silver tiara with gems, you maybe 5,000-6,000. The golden crown is maybe 1,500 or something like that. But it's still not a bad not a bad amount.
Yeah, no, that's great. The silver tiara, I guess they wouldn't be part of any sort of set or anything like that, right?
No.
Like a king
Just
and queen,
plundered.
right?
I mean,
Okay.
they might become that someday. You know, if they're cleaned up and sold to a miner
Sure.
that buys them.
Or if I were to lie or something, but
Yes.
far be it from me to do such a thing.
Well, this is the crown of Kukin the Mighty from
And we're now on
And this is the lost tiara of Taboa Cotton.
There you go.
So about 8,300 gold, which means we're in jewelry, which means we're probably going to see 6,300 of it.
Yeah. You can't count more than 75% if we're lucky, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they got to make a profit.
Yeah.
like
And then
pawn shop.
plus the gold, plus the gold.
Right.
You know, so
Brother Ishan.
Question is, oh, go ahead.
Brother Ishan will be able to level up again.
nice. I'll be able to get some of
And-
mine back.
What does Mark II want to do? Do you want to bring back Court, or you want a new guy, or I mean that's a lot of XP to lose.
Yeah,
You know?
no, bring him back. He
Yeah.
might not stay a paladin because he did that prayer and he got torn apart, so he might be a little pissed off.
Well, I mean, if you want to leave that off and be a lawful good fighter, if you make your role, that's entirely up to you.
Well, you
At the same time, though, is you've got a level 3 fighter right now. I mean, you didn't get to name him, and you didn't roll up stats, but
Almost level 4, very close.
hey, be a fighter, be a fighter cleric like me. It'll be
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Join my god. Blair won't disappoint you. Yeah, let's go raise the paladin. The irony of Blair being the one to bring you back. Heronius put you in the dirt.
Seems like it.
Yep. Blair brings you back.
All right.
Maybe he was mad about the hooker thing. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. There's two ways you can look at it. Either you let the god down, or the god let you down. You know how Outlier would see it.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Here's how every other paladin would see it.
I'm not like every other paladin.
So for those,
God answering my prayers.
each of you receives, for the trolls, not for the treasure, but for the trolls, each of you receives 727 experience points.
You just have to make it hard for those of us who have to split their stuff in half, don't you, Bill?
I sure do. You know what? I'll make it easy on you. You only get 720.
Thanks.
There, you don't have to divide. That's 7.
You're going to give me 728 or 6. That's 363 and a half. But what do I do with that half?
Donate it to charity.
if you meet your prime requisite requirements, you actually get 799, which I find to be a much better number.
Yeah, I don't have a high enough wisdom for that.
That's apparent.
Ouch. Oh.
I need 700 for 4th level.
All right.
So it's 20,063 for my fighter.
I can be level 3 now
Woohoo!
if I have the money for training.
963.
Oh well. Good evening to your son and your daughter and your grandchild. Okay. So anyhow, to address the issue of Baron von Headbanger's characters, do you want to roll the system shock roll, or do you want the old DM to roll the system shock roll?
Go ahead. I got an 88%.
That's pretty good.
Yep. You survive. You come back. You get an extra 1,000 XP. Your constitution drops down 1.
Okay.
And
You had an 88.
you haven't lost favor with your god unless you specifically wish to lay down the mantle of being a paladin. It doesn't your god doesn't hate you all of a sudden. It's just a hard row to hoe, and some elect not to.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'll think about it. I'm a little hacked off right now, but I'll think about it.
Well,
It's the best part about gods, man. They're always listening.
Yeah.
yep.
Brother Ishan encourages you to stick with it. It'll be good.
Leave Heronius. Join me.
No.
So anyway, about that anti-paladin, we actually have one in the group.
We have an anti-paladin and a paladin in our group. We just don't let them near each other.
The only thing I want to know is the green dragon still open?
Green Dragon's always open.
Because I'm thirsty.
Well, there you go.
What happens? We wheel you in a wheelchair and we just give you an IV of beer.
I like it.
That was part of the race.
A beer chair.
I like it. Just give me a helmet with the, the straws and the.
It's like a Viking helmet instead of the horns, though. It's just too.
I was waiting for someone to
beer
say it.
horns.
I was waiting for someone. That damn opera. That opera.
Oh,
Yeah.
Bill, take
Yes?
that down. Take that down. That's a bad pun.
That, on the one hand, I'm not very proud of that pun, but on the other hand, I am very proud of that pun.
Well, how much does going to fourth cost? It's 1,500 a level.
Yeah. So it's
Mhm.
4,500.
So that's what, $6,000?
Yes.
No. If you're going to fourth, you pay for.
It'd be 4,500.
Oh, yeah.
4,500.
You pay the
Yeah, because you're
existing
paying for
level.
your previous levels.
Okay. Actually, depending on what we get for treasure and all that, I can probably do that.
It's going to be a long time before I level.
Now, this is the decision point for your character. If you're going to remain a paladin, if
Yeah.
you are going to pay the largesse, if you're going to go through the rituals and ceremonies, before you level is the time to decide.
Yeah, I am. I'm staying.
Okay. All right.
Can you at least change deities?
No, he cannot.
Sure,
Outright
there's some
fire.
sort of woodland spirit he can worship instead, or something, right?
Yep.
Something from
Yep.
paganistic something or other.
Some kind of
Pal-
troll.
A paladin of the Eldritch Gods would be great.
Oh, that would be awesome.
There you go.
Lawful good paladin of Cthulhu.
I like it.
Hail Yog Sothoth.
I guess I'm like tentacles on my helmet.
It'd be like Shab Niggurath, a goat with 1,000 young, just legs
Yeah,
everywhere.
I ain't doing that paladins of every alignment and for any deity garbage.
Oh,
That
you could still be lawful good.
I want to be known as the Black Goat of the Woods. Come on.
no.
The most noble black goat.
No. This is Advanced Dungeons and Dragons First Edition. You wanted anything else down the hall. I think you wanted Morkborg. That's 2 doors down on the other side of the hall, actually.
Everything is dark in Morkborg. There is no light.
I rolled up that one sample character with you a minute or two ago and actually wound up with a pretty decent guy. But
Oh,
anyway,
you came out great.
here or there.
The answer, TJ, is yes. I can see the chat.
All right, so you've come back from beyond the veil. Although in your waking mind you do not remember you had a brush with true with a true apotheosis How you choose to let that color your character's future going forward is entirely up to you. But you once again put on the mantle of paladinhood, and you are anointed. You are brought into the next level, and as a 4th level paladin, anybody know what that level title is? I don't off the top of my head. I can get to it here. That's fighters.
So is the mantle of a paladin a crown of thorns then, or?
Ouch.
Yeah.
He's a defender.
A defender.
All right.
That was a very interesting Man of War album.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What is anyone else doing in town?
Brother Ishan's waiting for bad for a month, but he's waiting for his cut of the money. So if he knows he can go trade it out.
Yeah. I was going to go help Turgo sell said money.
Do it.
Yeah, we'll get rid of those gems at defense or whatever. The jewels, rather.
I gotta go check on my new armor.
Yep.
Okay. When did you commission your armor? Was it just before you left the city?
It was a couple sessions ago. Yeah.
It would have been
I don't know how
after the leveling and stuff. It would have been 3 weeks, but that'd still be in the future. Like at the whole party, you'd still have like he'd still have to level. The monk would still have to level.
Right.
So right now you're up in at least 2 weeks.
Okay. I will make some dice rolls to check on the preparation of your armor here. Let's see.
Yeah.
All right. So that is that. And well, he did not lose a point of con.
Well, that's good.
So, well, it's good for you because it doesn't cost you, like 10 times the amount. Remind me again, what was your armor you were having made?
I was having some plate mail.
Plate +1?
Well, what
You can go up to +3.
3 is fine. If I can do it, I'm all for it.
It's just an all or nothing gamble.
All right. Well, even with the +3, you're still able to have the armor manufactured. He made the appropriate saving throw. So when all is said and done, you are paying, let's see, the permanency spell.
A one-time payment of your soul.
Yeah.
A one-time payment. I mean, it's expensive. Don't get me wrong. I'm not just going to hand it to you.
That's okay.
It too can be yours for 5 easy payments of $5.99.99. If you buy it today, the Great Helm is still not free.
All right. So, you are looking at a grand total for that of 7,500.
Okay. 7,500. All right.
And you have that?
Not on me right this minute. No.
Okay.
Just hang on to it.
That's fine. Of course. Okay, so selling the jewelry. You go to your regular lapidary?
Absolutely.
All right.
I have earned his trust.
Pleased to see you.
Hello, good man. I return, as is obvious.
You do.
However, sometimes it is not obvious. It is only obvious if I wish it to be.
Well, that and if his doorman lets you in.
And there's that, and there's the smelly whatever. What was it? Idiotic dwarf or whatever it was.
Yeah, something like that. Do you think we've scraped at least enough of the troll blood off us to at least get something?
You can press it in a memories book.
Divine intervention roll.
That really doesn't move. Damn it.
All right. So there's the usual the usual back and forth.
Our casual banter.
Your casual banter. He makes you an initial offer. For you, Turgo the Strange and Off-Putting, I offer you 5,700 golden orbs.
For the lot of it.
For the lot of it, yes.
Now, I must admit that I consider strange and off-putting to be a compliment. So you got a little closer to my price. But surely, they just need a little cleaning and such. Perhaps I should have cleaned them before I came here. But surely this grouping might at least be worth 6,500.
I wouldn't walk out here with at least 63.
Well, you're both as good as your word, and you're both good for business. That is, what you bring me is good for business. You should know that as gaudy and outlandish as some of the pieces you bring me are, and as occasionally he holds up the gold the gold belt, primitive as they are worn by the well-heeled of the city of Greyhawk, and as such, I am prepared to counter-offer you 6,200 gold.
6,003 or I walk.
Well, you may walk, dwarf, but perhaps there's something other to work out. Perhaps you give us a more favorable consideration on the next load.
A fair trade. Perhaps I'll be able to sell these and buy a slightly better jeweler's loop and cloth for cleaning it, and I can better assess the next prizes you bring me.
Or perhaps you can buy a better eye in general.
Perhaps at that.
What think you, dwarf? Is this a fair deal?
I would have been more pleased with 6-3, but 6-2 if needs must.
All right. He gives you a letter of mark, which you may take to your friends at the Bank of Greyhawk to have the appropriate funds moved into your own accounts. And that is where
our friends.
That is where we will leave it for the evening. Thank you, everyone in the audience. Thank you, Baron's friend, for the super. We always appreciate that around here. Will we be back next week? Wait a minute. Let me think about this. We will. I don't know. I'm heading up to GaryCon. My flight leaves very early Monday. So we'll have to see, but I'll keep you guys posted on that information. But we'll definitely be back for more first edition AD&D. Don't you fret. Tomorrow night, Kyle will be in the house. He will be, we will be looking at, of course, the role-playing game and Conflict, and Thursday night is open bar. I hope everybody you bring your own drinks for that. And Friday night we're going to be playing some classic Gamma World. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please click the subscribe button and the bell icon for notifications. It is very helpful. You can join us over on Subscribestar or Patreon if you wish to support the channel that way. Thank you very much to my players, and thank you very much to my audience. You guys have an absolutely lovely evening, and I'll catch everybody next time here on the show. Peace to you all, and good night. Have you seen my owl bear?
says to all the weirdos everywhere in the woods and in the air, have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around, some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle way off course? Naked as a toad, all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks, just take me to the show.